was the hard of that month? What was the hardest part? Was it the 90 minutes of the game? Was it the training? Was it the meeting new people? Was it the bedsit? Was it the different currency, culture, people? What was the hardest part?
The hardest part for me was was trying to get accepted by the group of people that I went to live in a bedsit with, I think, 4 Northern Irish kids, and Norman Whiteside was one of them. Like, he was a known player. He was very young. He was only 16, I think, when I met him. And I was introduced to him, and he just looked up and he just said, "How's it going?" and stuff like that. But I knew straight away that he didn't like me. And I just said, "Fine, yeah, it's grand." And I just sat down, and I sat down with these 4 lads, and not one of them said a word to me around. And so I thought, "Oof, this is going to be a bit strange." But at that stage, I'd committed myself to I thought, to give him this shot, this my best shot. So it didn't matter whether these lads were going to like me or not. I kind of put that out of my head straight away. And for quite a while, for the first, I think, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, myself and Norman didn't really speak too much. We didn't get involved in each other's business or anything like that. Norman was like, he was the best player, the best young player definitely down there. They had real high hopes for him. And I just felt, well, if he doesn't want to, obviously Norman was a Protestant as well, so, and I'd been brought up one.
In the bird's nest, yeah.
But then I was transformed to a Catholic, so
in front of your grandfather.
God knows what I was.
Sure.
But then my registration didn't come through, so Barry was allowed to play the games, Barry Keogh, and I wasn't allowed even to start the game I was supposed to play with him. So then we went up to Newcastle to play a game, and myself and Norman actually played the game together. And I belted this ball out from the back, and I was jumping for headers and winning 1 or 2 things, and then I belted the ball up the field, and it just fell to Norman, and he took it down in one quick motion and actually hammered it into the top corner of the net. And I was thinking, oh, geez, what a goal that is, by the way. And then when we got off the bus, when we went back to Old Trafford, Ron Atkinson was there, and Ron shouts over to Norman, and he said, "Norman, come over here," and me as well. He just said, "How did he play?" And Norman said, "He was brilliant, boss. He laid on the goal for me." And I just belted that out of to get away from our goal. But he was nice enough to say that, so, and Ron said, "Oh, okay then, right, thanks." And from that moment, me and Norman, it broke the ice, and the other lads obviously followed Norman. As soon as Norman said, "Do you want to come out with us tonight?" and stuff like that, I said, "Yeah, grand." So.
And do you think that the people saying to you, "These guys don't like me, they don't accept me," do you think those voices were kind of outside your head or inside your head, looking back at it?
Definitely inside my head. Yeah, because they could have. The only thing that made it seem like a reality to me is that they uniformly did it. Like, it was like, because they were all Protestant, I think they just didn't like someone from Dublin coming over and maybe challenging 1 or 2 of them. And
then you and Norman became really close over the years.
Very close.
Part of that was great and fantastic, but maybe you weren't the best influence on each other all the time either?
Yeah, no, that's true. Norman knew at 16 that his knee would only last out till he was 26. He was told by the specialist, Mr. Noble, that he'd only play football till he was 26, so he heavily insured himself. And I had similar knee problems where I was getting it open every 6 months or something like that. I would have, because I was just rushing into ridiculous, tackles that some of them you couldn't have won. And so I kept having to have this operation every so often. So myself and Norman would look for, there was long parts of the day that we'd nothing to do. We'd go in, we'd sit in the beds and get our get our injuries looked at, and then we just look at each other and say, what we're going to do for the afternoon. And basically our way of consoling ourselves was to go out and have a few drinks. I wanted to be drunk before I got in the car to go to the party, and that used to spoil things for me. I wanted to walk in a little bit drunk and then start drinking probably heavier when I got to the place.